Hello friends, welcome to Database Academy. I hope those who joined last week have learned the basic of SQL through my free SQL fundamental session. If you have missed it, don't worry. You can also join my WhatsApp group to stay updated on upcoming free SQL sessions. The link you can find in the description below. Also, don't forget to subscribe my channel so you can stay informed about the latest SQL feature and updates. In today's session, we will see interview question and answer for intermediate and expert. So let us see the very first question that the interviewer can ask you, that what is table function and how it is used. A table function in PL/SQL is a user-defined function that return a collection. Collections here means multiple rows it can return. In normal functions, it will always return one value, right, with the return keywords. Here that can be queried like a table in a SQL statement using a table function. So this table function, we will use it in the table functions, and this function will treat as a table like a normal table which we use select star from employee to get the data. We will use these functions to get the data similarly. Okay, now let us see that how we can create a table function. So before we create a table functions require two things. One is type and second is the function, which is table functions. Okay, so let us understand what is type. So type is a schema object that define a user defined data type. So it allow you to create a complex data structure that go beyond the traditional scalar data type. Scalar data type in the sense that we use integer, varchar, date. Those are the scalar data type, and this type is a user defined data type. So we can create our user defined data type also using this type keyword. And these type can be used to define column in a table, variable, or as a parameter in PL/SQL procedure or function. Okay, that's the use of the types. Now let us see that how can we create this one type. Now let us create the object type first. So the syntax is like a create or a replace type, the name which you want, emp obj type, and then is object. Okay, so this is object indicate that you are going to create an object. Then the column number and the employee name and their data type varchar 200. Okay, so this syntax will create a object type. So this is how we create the object type, emo object type. Okay, so now we need to create a type for this collections type. So and another syntax will be a create or a replace. It will be a same only type. Okay, now here we need a employee table. It is a user defined name, so it can be anything. Okay, is table of emp, whatever that type object that we have created, that will be used here. Because we have two columns, that's why this object type is required. If we have only one columns, then even we don't need this to create this object type. We can directly use here this ename varchar 2. Okay, so this how we will create a type for this collections. Now let us create the table functions. The syntax will be same, like similar to a normal function, create or replace function. It will be get employee detail. Here we will say the department ID in and a number. This is the input parameter. Here in return it will be like employee. The table type name that we have mentioned here, this will be the return type because this is going to return multiple values. Okay, now is now after that we need to define the variables. So we will say emp details, and here it will be a employee, that type name. Okay, Now we need to initialize this because this is a collection type. So we will say that we will just initialize using this one. Now begin and end. Inside this we will write our own code. So it will like for emp in, and then select. We need two columns. So we need to check that two column. It is a employee number. Okay, emp number e name. Okay, from emp. So these are the two columns that we are going to take, where department number equal to this will be from our input parameter. Okay, this is, where is that? Yeah, this one. Okay, now this will be end loop. Now here we need to add in our variable, because this is a collections type, so we need to extend keyword, because each time we are going to add new values. So extend is we need to use this before we assign any new values, because this is a collections type. Okay, and now here in employee detail we need to mention the count equal. Now here we need to set this object type, where we had two parameters, right? So this will return from this for loop, inside only for loop only. So this will be employee employee number and emp dot e name. Okay, this how we create, and now finally returns. So this returns will return all the values from the functions. Now we need to create this. Just select and execute. The function got created. Now let us see that how the table will return the data from this table function. So it will be normal select star from get table. Just before that we need to use this table function, and this function required one additional field, that is department ID as an input. So we will say that department ID is 10. So now if we execute this, it should return all the employee from the department number 10s. If we mention department number 20, it will return all the data from the department number 20. So this is how the table function is created. Now in the newer version of Oracle database, even we don't need this table function to mention this one keyword. We can directly use this function name. This will also return the same data. Okay, so you can use these table functions or without as. So this is how that table function works. So if somebody asks like why use table function, you can mention that to return a result set from PL SQL, to perform pipeline operation for better performance in large database, and to process and return data dynamically, such as transforming and filtering rows. These are the advantage of using table function. So this concludes today's video, where we discuss table function in detail. In the next session we will dive into pipeline functions. I will explain both the theoretical concept and practical implementation of the pipeline function. So stay tuned, and please do subscribe for more database related videos. Thank you once again.